Hey everybody, this is Derric Ruttan. This is my coffee cup, and this is my interview for Gibson.com.
So we're here on the Gibson bus in Hamilton, 2011 CCMAs.
Yes.
4-time nominee.
I am indeed.
And you're the big four. This isn't just, I mean, they're all very important.
Of course.
But this is like a hat trick.
Yeah.
And a Stanley Cup.
Male artist, video of the year, songwriter of the year.
Album.
No. Single of the year.
Single.
That's the fourth one.
Single.
Yeah. But, and, not to brag on myself, Tina.
Come on, let's go.
But my little independent record label that I make my records for, Black Tea Records, nominated. And also, 3 of my band guys are nominated for Musician of the Year. So
it's been a big year.
let's call it 8. You know, we'll say 4.
Let's call 8.
Officially 4, let's say 8.
Okay, let's call it 8.
Okay.
Now, you've got your label. It's you that's your artist on your label.
Yeah.
Has this made you now with this nomination think about expanding, maybe becoming more of a, record mogul, so to speak, instead of just a great artist?
Do I look like a record mogul? Let me answer for you and say no. I don't know. It was nice to see the nomination. Obviously, it's great. That's the one that I took a screenshot on my Mac of the nominations because I was so blown away to have that record label thing. But honestly, I didn't move to Nashville from Bracebridge, Ontario, my hometown, to be a record label guy. I mean, I went there to be an artist and a songwriter, and Black Tea Records is a great sort of spot for me to feel like I have creative control of things. But as far as signing other acts, I mean, not right now. I feel like I feel like my creative energies are about stretched to the limit as far as what I can do. Because I'm also self-managed too, so it's a lot. It's just, there's only so many hours in the day, and I kind of feel like I'm about where I need to be on all that. So no expansion of Black Tea yet.
Yeah. But you will let us know when there is.
Of course I will.
Recently, I know you were hanging out in Nashville, and you actually happened to wander by Gibson for a little event with a couple of fairly famous Canadians.
I did.
Mr.
Yes.
Bachman and Mr. Turner.
I did indeed.
At Summer Jam. So how was that? What was that experience like?
Bachman, I actually met Randy. I was introduced to Randy when I first moved to Nashville, like 96, 97 maybe. And he was, no, it was after that, 98. But he came to a show that I did in Nashville. We met through a mutual friend. We wrote a song together. Years later, played with him on the CCMAs. We did a couple of his songs on that show.
In Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg, that's right, in his old stomping grounds. So to get to be able to play at the Gibson Summer Jam in Nashville with Randy and Fred Turner was great, man. I mean, it was cool. It's Randy's the kind of guy who he's got a sort of a public persona, but I mean, and then off stage, and it's kind of the same thing. He's very approachable. He's always been very nice to me, and we kind of have that bond of people who've written a song together, and so it was great. It was fun. He threw me a solo on stage, which was kind of funny.
Daunting?
A little bit daunting because it's Randy Bachman, and he turns to you and goes, "Take a solo." And I'm like, I'm just here to stand here and play this Les Paul, But it was fun, and Fred was cool too, and we hung out on the bus afterwards and just kind of, shot the breeze, and it was a lot of fun. What was really cool about that gig for me personally was I've got 5 kids, as you know, my wife Margaret, and because a lot of my full band shows that I do are in Canada, my kids don't see a lot of gigs, but I was able to take 2 of my sons to that Gibson Summer Jam. So they were backstage and they got to see their dad rocking on stage with Randy and Fred. So it was pretty cool. That meant a lot to me personally.
And from a great guitarist like Randy Bachman, who's been, I think, named one of the top 10 in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you also have a great love of guitars, with using Gibson acoustics and electrics. I mean, what is it about, the Les Paul that you find? I know you've got your classic, like,
Right.
What is it about Les Paul that you really find works for you, and especially in the country genre?
Right, yeah. It's a good solid piece of wood. It's like, You know, you feel like when you put the Les Paul on that you've got a guitar on. You don't have a toy strapped around you. You know, so I like that about it, and it's got it's got great tone, and I just feel like when I walk on stage with my Les Paul that I feel like I've come to work, and it feels like I don't know, it just feels good, and the acoustic, same thing. I mean, I was one of the people that sort of brought me into country music through his music was Steve Earle, who used to, on the, like, I think Exit Zero and on Guitar Town, he had that big black, I think it was a J200, and I just remember that being such an iconic, it's even on the album cover, I think, it's hanging in a guitar shop window and he's standing outside and kind of looking at it. Anyway, being a big Steve Earle fan, that was sort of what flagged Gibson in my mind as a younger person, so yeah, I'm happy to be playing them now.
And so are we.
Yeah, thank you.
So coming up, you go out and tour
Mm-hmm.
the CMT.
Yeah, we're doing the CMT Hit List Tour with Dean Brody and Aaron Lyons and myself. 25 or 26 shows in 31 days. So it's going to be pretty intense. We start in Kelowna, BC on the 22nd of September and in Halifax on the 22nd of October. Yeah, and it's going to be great though. I mean, one of the cool things about that tour is people can log on to the CMT website and pick cover songs from a list of, I think, 20 or 30 cover songs, and then the top 4 songs we will play in concert every night. And so it's going to be different each market, and each market will have picked their top 4. So that's fun. And we've got Steve Earle and Hank Williams, and I mean, there's a lot of Neil Young songs on there, so some good Canadian content on that list. And but that tour is exciting for me because I'll get to, anytime I get to see Canada from a tour bus window is always special, you know. But also, on 2 days before the tour kicks off, on the 20th, I've got a new album coming out called Up All Night, Derric Ruttan Live. And that is 11 live tracks we recorded at Calgary Stampede in July, and then 4 studio tracks. One song that's a remastered track from my last album, and then 3 new songs. And the lead-off single is called She's Like a Song, and we just sent that to radio this week actually, Monday. So, but that'll be exciting to be out on the road and to be able to bring new music to people. You know, it's one thing to tour, but it's to me there's another dimension when you go out and you play and you're able to sort of share with them new songs that they haven't heard before. Plus this live batch, which they have heard before, but yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see you in Toronto when you can come by the showroom, and we can do another one of these then.
I would love to do that.
Hang out, play some guitar.
I would love to do that.
And congratulations on all the nominations. We're going to see you
Thank you.
Sunday night at the Gibson Party.
That's right.
Out there playing.
Yeah.
So everybody stay tuned for that, because we could have some tweets and Facebook on that.
Just maybe. Might be some tweets.
Maybe some tweets.
Got a feeling.
We're all going to be doing that. And Monday night. I hope it's all 8.
Well,
How many are you thinking?
How many am I thinking? What?
How many are you thinking you're walking with?
You know what? I have no idea. I would like. People have asked me if you could only win one.
Yeah.
Which I may only win one. I may win none. But the one that means the most to me of male artist, single of the year, songwriter of the year, and video of the year. Video songwriter and single are all for a song I had called "That's How I Want to Go Out," which was a big 14-week top 10 for us here in Canada. And I think single of the year, that'd be the one that I would choose to pick. That would be the one that would mean the most to me, just because there's been a lot said about me being a songwriter, and I'm kind of known for some of the Dierks Bentley things and the Aaron Pritchett things and Eric Church and all that. But to win single of the year, that's more of like an artist win, and that's one that that'd mean a lot to me. I'd like to win that one.
Let's hope you win it, and we'll see you on Monday night.
Thanks. Bye, guys.